Long way, get this shit a long way, shit a long way. Long way, hit the long way, 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 shit long way, long shit long way, long way, long way, long way, long way, long way, shit a long way. Gotta get the shit a long way, get the shit a long, gotta get the shit a long, finish rich, yeah. Gotta get the shit a long way, get the shit a long, she don't really understand, man. Gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta get a meal, but she don't understand. She be tripping every day, she be tripping every way, but I gotta get the shit a long way, yeah. Tryna get money every single way, tryna get money every single day, yeah. Get money every single way, every day. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. I'm feeling like we be the new slaves. No, we gotta finish rich. No, we gotta finish rich. Got a new bitch, she don't understand rich. She don't understand niggas gotta get rich. She don't understand sometimes we gotta hit lit. No, we ain't hit lit. Tryna get the long way, yeah. Tryna get the shit the long way, yeah. Cause you tryna wrap up a entree, yeah. Told you the other day that did my palm strong. We gon' shoot the long way, we gon' get the long way, yeah. Yeah, get the shit the long way. My bitch be trippin' back and forth like a palm way. My name is Tari, and I'm playing games, so I'm done Tari. Yesterday she told me that she about to leave, I said fuck it, bitch, we gonna get some money. I said fuck it, bitch, I'm about to get some money. So what I do today, I work to got some money, yeah. Cause we gon' get the shit the long way, we gon' get shit the long way, yeah. Back and forth like the palm way, yeah. Man, I'ma get the shit the long way, get the shit the long way. Just the only way today, because they go with shit's crazy. We gotta wear a mask, we the new slaves, and we be wearing this shit like every day. We be okay, we gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, they gon' be okay for me, yeah. So we gon' get the shit the long way, 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 yeah, we get the shit the long way, yeah. Cause we gon' be okay, we gon' be okay, yeah. We gon' get the long way, yeah.
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up? Welcome to another edition of Savings Minus Debt. I'm your host. Whoops, remove. There we go. I'm your host, LJ Young, the founder of SMD. What's up, everybody? Antoine's in the house. Kirkland Dorsey, Kang, Quentin, Robert. What's going on? Welcome. I don't really come on too much anymore until some hot topics come up, like student loan debt. That's one of my favorites. Anyway, my purpose here, I just get straight to the point. My purpose here is to help, right? To help you become the best person you can be, wealthy as you want to be, whatever. Your confidence, everything will go through the roof. You'll dominate in any financial field that you wish. You'll be the best in the United States if you decide to stop there. If you decide to go to the world, you'll be one of the best in the world. And when I say best, anything, especially financial, if you're involved in anything to do with money and taxes, I will make you the best in the United States. And then if you decide to go to the world, you'll be one of the best in the world, period. Okay? That's a promise. But, you have to put in the work, though. It's a promise if you promise yourself. I just give you the blueprint to do it. Anyway, you probably think, well, how do you do this, LJ? Well, I know capitalism is psychological. I do. How do I know this? Because math says it's true. So it's true. Period. Okay, that's how it works. All right, so now with this knowledge, understanding that capitalism is psychological, I know you guys are the money that slaves you. You're the currency. It's not the paper. It's not the gold. It's not the silver. It's not the cryptocurrency. It's not All the stuff you guys think about, no, it's you. You're the retirement plans. You guys are the mortgages. You guys are the car loans. You guys are the motorcycle loans. You guys are the phone loans because you guys finance phones. That's you. Everything is you. The stock market wouldn't even exist without you because you guys are the stock market. Do you because you have no money. If you're a debt slave, if you believe you could buy a house with a mortgage, you're a debt slave because you can't do that. You can't buy a house with a mortgage. Who told you that? The bank. You can't buy a car with a car loan. Who told you that? Your friends? All your friends with car loans probably told you could buy a car with a car loan. Of course they're going to tell you that because they believe that too. That's why you guys are all friends. That's how that works. Now, I was on SMD's Discord server this morning, and and somebody posted that the student loan thing got blocked again. Say, hey, we're going to stop now. We're blocking this student loan forgiveness. It's unconstitutional or whatever. I'd be like, damn, they do you debt slaves so dirty. Ooh. First of all, let me tell you guys, let me tell you something, debt slaves with student loan debt begging out there begging. They're never going to let you go. You have to free yourself. That's the only way you're getting out. You have to accept that. Once you accept that, your brain will start putting things into place for help you get out of student loan debt. But let me tell you, the only way you're getting out is that you have to pay it off. You do. They're not letting you go. Why, put it this way, debt slaves, why you guys believe that you can borrow money from the government, get your degree, get that good job, start building your life, and did not pay back the source of all of that? You can't do that, debt slaves. Why do you got to stop thinking like that. You can't do that. If your student loans are older than your mortgage, that's why you're begging for student loan forgiveness, because your student loans are older than your FHA mortgage. That's why you have an FHA mortgage, debt slaves, because your student loans are older than your mortgage. That's why you have a subprime mortgage. Shout out to eclectic agitator. It's you, debt slaves. Exactly, it's you. Now they have over half of you guys. It's like 45 million of you. Now they have over half of you guys updated information come January, so they know exactly where to find you. Thank you, debt slaves. Thank you. Hey, listen, I don't care how they collect your information or get stuff from you. It's your responsibility to pay. Of course, you owe them money. Of course, there's nothing wrong with they're doing, because you do it to yourself. Why do you think you get to borrow all that money and not pay it back? That's not true, debt slaves. They told you that before you signed up. They said, hey, you got to pay this back. All you got to do is say like this: how come I can damn near bankrupt every other debt except student loan debt? How? Why not? That should give you a big bright light in your head. I can bankrupt everything except this. Why not? Don't you want to know why? Don't you want to know why you can't bankrupt that and you can keep it your whole you can go to college for 4 years but keep your student loan debt your entire life. Don't you think that's weird? When you look around at you and all your friends and say, "Hey friends, do you guys have student loan debt?" If they all say yes and you do too, that's why you guys are all friends. Don't you get it? I'm just glad I have a seat in the arena by understanding that capitalism is psychological. I have a seat. I'm in the bleeder seats, but I have a seat in the arena. You guys are in the arena. It's you, debt slaves. You guys are in there. We're just watching you. It's sad too. It's really sad to watch. You guys are, hey, the judges are blocking it, the second district court, and the Democrats are putting a foot. Hey, you don't have listen, you guys, you don't have to be part of that. Just pay your student loan debt off. You won't care what the Republicans and Democrats will do. Just pay it off, and you won't have to worry about it. You won't have to worry about what judge and what district is going to uphold. Who cares? Just pay your student loan debt off. You don't have to worry about any of that. You know what, and this is just my opinion, okay? But you know what the smart move would be to do? And it would make everybody look good. Everybody. They should just mail you guys checks to forgive your student loan debt. They should mail you guys all checks. Wire the money straight to your bank account, just like they did during the pandemic, give you guys money. That's how they should do the student loan forgiveness. Approve it and then send you guys all checks. You know why? Because you won't pay your student loan debt with it. I know that. I know you guys won't. You know that's a lot. Thinking it's if it gets approved, that's billions of dollars. That's billions of dollars poured into the economy because you guys are not going to pay your student loan debt. You're not. That's a fact. Okay, there's no reason to try to hide. No, you're going to do something with it. You're going to flip it, dump something. You guys, debt slaves. You guys always believe you have when you have nothing. You don't have anything. Say it like this. Put it like this, so you guys can understand this. They mailed you checks. Now you got the $10,000 in your hand, okay? But if you open up the calculator, put in 10,000 minus your student loan balance, the calculator says you don't have anything in your hand. The calculator says, you know what you have in your hand? Look at the picture on the screen. You have that in your hand. That's what the calculator says. Negative dollars, not positive dollars, negative dollars. Yeah, you're holding green positive dollars in your hand. You're like, how is it in my hand? The calculator saying, I don't care what you think you have in your hand, but it's not that. It's what I'm showing you on the screen right now. Imagine this is what I imagine. This is what I imagine. Of course, this is hypothetical, but it'd be a smart move. As soon as, hypothetically speaking, as soon as the president says, we will be mailing checks. Oh my God. Okay, let me tell you. This is what I imagine happening. First of all the rats, all the financial scammer rats that they'll be coming up from the sewers to get all that money from you debt slaves looking to invest, quote, invest in something so you can flip it and then you can pay back with your flip money to pay back the student loan debt. You guys all think the same way. You guys all do that, right? So the sewer rat financial scammers will come up first. They'll get a piece, okay? Then all of the legitimate businesses will get a piece. Then what was I was thinking something else too. Who else would get a piece? Car sales place would get a piece. Damn, I drew a blank. It was a good one. Everybody will be getting a piece waiting for you guys to spend that money. Oh, cryptocurrency. What? Cryptocurrency will go through the roof. All of a sudden you'll see Bitcoin. Oh my God, Bitcoin's going crazy. You guys, half of you guys will take that money and put it inside a cryptocurrency. Oh, they'll be waiting for that. As soon as that announced, the people that understand would take their real money, pour it into cryptocurrency, let it shoot up. You guys would see it, start dreaming, and invest your money. Invest the money that you're getting back instead of paying off your student loan debt. The president would look good. The economy would be boosted. And you guys would still have your student loan debt, but at the same time, thanking the president because he forgave some student loan debt. It's a win that would be a win for everybody that understands. For everybody that understands. Why? because it's you, debt slaves. If they gave you the money in a check form, you're not paying your student loan debt. Why would you? You don't have the remaining balance anyway. It really doesn't matter, debt slaves. Even if they forgave, even if they boosted it up to 20, hey, everybody gets 20. It doesn't matter unless you have the money. Listen, if you've had your student loans for 15, 20 years, and then they forgave $20,000, you're not going to have the balance anyway. It really doesn't matter. You're not free. It doesn't matter. The only way you're getting free is you have to free yourself. There is no way out. And now, what I'm telling you, it's a hard fact to accept. Okay, it is. It's a hard fact to accept. You probably been in your house for 5 years, but you've had your student loan debt for 20. Do you know? Do you know when you walk into a bank looking for a mortgage, and you have student loan debt older than your children, and you at the same time you're begging for student loan forgiveness, because what you guys don't really get is this: you guys had 3 years of interest-free payments you could have paid. Do you guys understand that's a gift? To not pay interest on your student loan debt for 3 years. 3 years. Do you know that will never happen again? Ever. Do you see what it took for that to happen? To stop student loan payments and the interest? You see what it took to do that? The world had to stop. So you understand that that's never going to happen again. Anybody listening to this podcast in 2022 right now, you'll never see that again. I don't care if you're in your 20s, you'll never see that again, ever, in your lifetime at least. I guarantee you this, and I won't for surely know. I guarantee this don't happen till every 100 years. That's the only way, because of evolution. It has to happen. Everything changes. Like the new system right now, with how it's working, it works for this time we're in right now. That it works for, but then things will evolve, and then we'll have to change. I'm honestly, you guys, I'm just blessed to have a seat in the arena. You guys don't even, man, when I be hearing left wing, right wing, you know what? I'm on the bird. I'm in the very back. I can't see who's controlling the bird. I'm 50. I probably never will either. But I'm just happy to be on the bird. They're never letting you go, debt slaves, ever. If your student loan debt is older than your house, older than your mortgage, you have to get out of the house. You have to leave. You have to give up that house to get free. If not, you're going to die begging for student loan forgiveness for the rest of your life. Do you really want that? Let me make sure this is clear too. The government, they're not doing anything to you. You are doing it to yourself. The government didn't make me keep my student loan debt for 10 years. I chose to do that for 10 years. I chose to go to college for 4 years, but pay on my student loan for 10. I chose to do that. Why? Because I got a house, and then I financed some cars, and then I had some credit cards, and then I went on vacations, and then I did all this. So that means I chose to have student loan debt for 10 years. Myself. If you're just living your life, it put it this way, if you're in a house, ooh, I feel bad for you guys over these 3 years too. I don't know what you guys are gonna do. Man, I don't. I don't. I'm just waiting to see. Listen, I'm waiting to see what's gonna happen come January, because believe that student loan payments are starting January. That's not getting pushed anymore. That's done. What are you guys going to do? You debt slaves with the new cars and your brand new houses. You're not going to be able to afford those payments. You're not. Soon as your student loan payments kick in, you're not affording nothing. Fire sales, that's going to be some fire sales come February. Car repos, they already happening now. Car repos, house, maybe that's why BlackRock is buying up all the houses, because you guys will be renting. Maybe that's why they're doing it. They know all these places that you guys bought, these things that you bought while student loan you guys thought you had extra money while student loan payments were paused and stuff. Now you won't be able to afford it anymore. You won't even be able to afford where you live. You'll be renting. And to save face, half of you guys, they're not going to tell each other that you lost your house. So you're going to go rent another house and then pretend like you're still in a house. Oh, yeah, we just sold that house and we just bought this house over here. Just lying. You guys are just fooling yourselves. You're not fooling you. Do you guys know that, debt slaves? You guys are just tricking yourselves. You don't know that you can't buy houses with mortgages. You don't know that. But listen, the housing market wouldn't exist if you knew that. The housing market wouldn't exist because it couldn't exist. I understand how it works. I get it. Totally understand it. Whatever. Hey, do your thing, banks. I don't care. Hey, the government blocks student loan forgiveness, and the judges over here said this, and the Democrats said, "Hey, I don't care. Whatever, whatever. You guys do what you do." That's a choice to be involved in that. You guys don't have to be involved in that. You could just pay your student loan debt off and be done with it. You don't really have to be involved in that negatively, because there's clearly a lot of money to be made in that. It's $1.7 trillion of it. Of course, there's money to be made in that. Of course. Put it this way so you guys can really get it. If the banks denied mortgages to all people with student loan debt, guess what? The housing market couldn't exist, debt slaves. Do you guys get it? If they say, "Hey, no, you got student loan debt, mortgage denied," that would be a problem. I don't know why they just man, it seemed like they honestly, it would be if they just mail you guys checks. Everything would look good. The economy would be boosted higher than it ever has before. Uh, like this, put it this way: you know when the people go out and do PPP fraud, they steal the money, right? They go and do the fraud, never realizing why is it so easy to get all this money so easily. Just you got debt slaves just don't even think. You guys don't even think. It's like when you do the PPP fraud, before you push the enter to submit the papers, they tell you right there, hey, if you do this is a federal crime. If you do this illegally, if you break the law, this is a federal crime. I'm gonna just put it all the way down so you break it all the way down for you guys. If you do this, we're gonna own you. So, like, if you did PPP fraud and say like you got $5,000, okay, you got $5,000 out of PPP fraud. Guess what? You just sold yourself for $5,000. The federal government now owns you. Do you understand? That's how it works. You are owned now for $5,000. They bought you for $5,000. Anyway, when you guys get that money, what do you guys go do? You guys go put it in the economy by what? Buying shit. And this is what listen, this is what I don't get, okay? This is the part that baffles me, okay? Say like a person go commit PPP fraud and he steals $1 million, okay? Say like a million, okay? Because they get ridiculous amounts. It's just bananas, right? And then then they go and buy a house with the money. Okay, they go buy a house with the money. Now it's like, what? You did what? Anyway, but this is what I'm saying. Obviously, they're buying that house from the bank. Okay? They're buying the house from the bank. I don't know. Would the bank ask questions if you pay cash? I don't know. I don't know how all that works. But anyway, the majority of people that steal money and go do that, they go and get a mortgage with the money they got, right? They'll go and finance a house in their name with the money they stole from the PPP fraud, right? They'll do that, right? But this is my dilemma, right? They go and they go to the bank and say, hey, I want to buy this house. And they're going to need a mortgage, right? So the first thing the bank is going to do is run their credit report. Now, what you guys don't know, debt slaves, is this: when you do that, your life order is out of order because you're putting money above the time in your life. That's what you're doing. You have money as number one, time is number two, which is time is the most valuable thing. So you're about to trade the time in your life for the dollars that you stole because you're going to go to prison and you're going to be owned for not only now because it's a federal crime, you're going to be owned for the rest of your life, stamped for the rest of your life for $5,000. That is just to think about that shit is just bananas. It's like, what? You're trading time for money. Owned, man. You don't even. Oh. But anyway, but my point is that okay. And then the bank runs the credit, and it goes, they, they're going to clearly see that your credit report is shot because people that do stuff like that, you guys' personal credit reports they tell why you're doing PPP fraud. Your personal credit report tells why you're committing PPP fraud. Okay. So when they go and apply for a mortgage, they're going to run the credit and clearly see that there is no way you should have $100,000 in cash to put down on the house. They will clearly see that because they'll run your credit report and see that you have collections, student loan debt, fines and penalties. But yet today you have $100,000 to put down on the house. How does that get approved? I don't know how that works. That just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm like, how did that person get a mortgage? That doesn't make any sense. And then when the person is caught, right, by the federal government, clearly stolen money, does the bank have to give that money back? Hey, bank, we're the federal government. This person bought this house with this money. We're showing you that it's stolen. We need it back. Do they have to give that money back? What happens to that money? That never comes up on the news. Hey, what happened to that money? Or does it just magically become restitution? I don't know. I don't know. Again, even if it does work that way, and they know that and they keep it. Hey, whatever. That's just how it works. What's up, Malika, Michelle, and Rachel? Hello, hello. LJ, you know Bandman Kevo has a legal student loan forgiveness method on his OnlyFans. Put it this way. Let me tell you guys something, okay? If what Bandman Kevo is doing is legal, listen, if it's legal, I don't care. And this is why. If you don't trust mathematics, that's your problem. It's not illegal to share information that doesn't make mathematical sense. That's not illegal. If you believe, let's put it this way, if you believe you can invest while having student loan debt, that's your problem. That's nobody else's problem but yours. But because you can't invest while having student loan debt. You can't buy a house, you can't buy a car, you can't go on vacations, you can't do none of that while you have a student loan debt, let alone invest. If what he's doing is legal, I don't care what he's doing. Honestly. Like when I see his videos and he's not talking to me. He's talking to people that believe in chains and gold and cars. That's who he's talking to, not me. I don't know how he got any of that. I haven't, nor do I. I don't care. Whatever he's doing, if it's legal, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Whatever he's doing, it's obviously working. But when you understand that capitalism is psychological, you have to keep up with that image. If you want to keep that kind of money coming in, you have to keep doing that stuff, and that's got to be tiring because that's a front. That stuff doesn't fool. That stuff doesn't trick people like me. Okay, that doesn't. I understand that capitalism is psychological, and you guys are the currency, debt slaves. It's not something around somebody's neck or the car or nothing. It's you. You're the cars. You guys are the jury. You guys are everything. It's you. You're the taxes, everything. Oh no, that's fact. This is most definitely a reset. Fact. All you got to do is that this is all somebody has to think. Did the world stop? Yes, that's a reset. You can ask anybody around you. Have you ever seen this happen before? No, that's a reset. But the crazy thing is this about you guys don't when you're a debt slave, you guys have no idea the advantage that you have right now to be at the beginning of a reset. Billions don't know this is a reset. Billions of people don't know that. Billions with a B. They don't even know. And if you're here and you know, you get to man, you get to build right now, starting right now. This is all new. All you gotta do is look around. Has anything been delivered like the way it's delivered now? People shop for you. You don't have to go anywhere. That's all new, right? That's a reset. And you're at the beginning of it. Do you guys listen? Okay, you guys, when you don't know psychological capitalism is psychological, you can't see what I see. Do you see what Elon's doing? Do you see what he's doing? He bought Twitter. You guys are thinking, hey, it's free range. People can go over there and say what they say. Hey, you guys are thinking totally wrong, but whatever, right? He turned the blue check mark. Now the blue check marks are worthless. Absolutely. They only blue check marks are only worth money to him now. Now debt slaves are going to go over there, sign up for blue check marks and thinking they mean something. They don't mean anything. He's putting all the to me, this is my opinion. He's going to make a super app since Twitter is so big. Just just think about this. $8 times times the people on Twitter. Can you imagine how much money that is per month? You guys don't even understand that kind of money. You if you but this is how you guys got to look at it. If he did it, you can do it. Twitter has millions of people. $8, $8 a person per month. That's money. You know where that money's going? Twitter is going to finance his Mars trip. And when I say Twitter, I mean you, debt slaves, you. Freaking brilliant. He's about to build a super app. You watch. All the notice. Okay, put it this way right now. Okay, you guys can't see it, debt slaves. Take a step back and look at all the apps right now. There's about a 15. There's an app for everything. Food, groceries, Uber. I mean, that's business. That's different. But you know what I mean. There's apps for everything. Guess what he's gonna do? He's gonna build a super app. You watch. He's gonna build a super app. One that combines all, just like he's doing with the internet. You got all these people in different states and cities. This person owns this internet. This city only has this internet. Elon said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go to the world." Now you don't have to worry about any local people anymore. Soon, you just go to him. He reaches the world now. And you're begging, and you're still begging for student loan forgiveness. Mm. Capricorn Way says there's people wearing Balenciaga talking about student loan forgiveness. Exactly right. Let's see. What's up, QJC? I know people that finance houses and cars with, within the last 2 years that had student loan debt. This coming January is going to be a shift. Oh yeah, it's going to be a big old shift. Now, with understanding now, listen, I want you guys to really understand this. Capitalism is psychological, and math says it's true. Okay, so it is. Period. Now, with this coming January, this is what I'm waiting to see is going to happen. Okay, because even though student loan debt payments start January, debt slaves are not going to stop. They're not going to cut down on Christmas. They're still going to have Christmas. Okay. They're still going to do it. Hey, Christmas is Christmas. We're going to do it. I don't care. I pay it with my income tax check. You guys say all the crazy things you guys do, right? Come January. I'm waiting to see, since you guys won't be able to afford your payments, that's a lot of people kicked out of houses, and that would hurt the bank. So I'm assuming they're going to introduce 40 or 50-year refinance home loans or something so you guys can stay in these houses, because if you guys can't afford your mortgage payments, that's very bad business for the banks. Now, it helps me understand why places like BlackRock are buying up all these houses to rent, because that's what's going to happen. You guys are going to be renting. And to save face, so you don't look like because you guys don't want to tell each other that you lost the house or whatever, right? You're going to go rent a house so it doesn't look like that. And then that BlackRock businesses like that are going to be there to help you keep up that image. That's why they're building. I always wondered why are they building all of, listen, that's what I can assume that's going to happen in January, because look at all the storage places they're building. It's like this. Why are you guys building so many storage places? They're starting to look like hotels. It's like, that's a storage place? Oh, heated air, multi-level elevate. I'm like, you guys are getting fancy with these storage places. Something big is coming. They're not building all these storage places for nothing, people. There has never been that many storage places. I'm 52. There's always have been storage places, but not that many and not this fancy. I hope you guys are paying attention. I hope you're paying attention. But you're so focused on student loan forgiveness, you guys are not even paying attention what's going on around you. What's up, KB? The experts are still predicting an upcoming recession. Haven't we've already been in a recession with all the gas prices and food prices? All right. Again, not specifically just UKB. I'm just saying in general. Capitalism is psychological. You guys are the currency. You, debt slaves, you. So whenever you hear, this is what you guys don't know, debt slaves. When you guys hear the word recession, that's a word. Whenever words are used in financial statements, they're either positive or negative. When you hear let me give you an example, okay? When you hear somebody say recession, You turn. I mean, you guys don't know to ask this question, but is somebody using the word recession with student loan debt? Is that person talking about recession, begging for student loan forgiveness? They're using the word recession negatively because they're coming from a negative perspective. Anybody you hear, here's another word, equity. Equity is positive or negative. That is determined by the person using the word equity. If you hear a person talking about their equity and they have a mortgage, they're using the word equity negatively because you cannot own the equity while in a house while having a mortgage. You can't do that. So if they're saying that, they're using the word equity negatively. Now, if the person owned the house with no mortgage, equity, put it this way, is a word. Equity is actually a word that is used to describe the bank's money. Because if you own your house with no mortgage, you wouldn't use the word equity. You would just use the word value, appreciation. You wouldn't use the word equity because you own your house. Equity. So the majority of the, put it this way, the majority of people that you hear use the word equity, you turn to them and say, do you have a mortgage? When they tell you yes, they're telling you the word negatively. They're talking about the bank's money. Actually, whenever you hear the word equity, 9 times out of 10, 99% of the time, they're talking about the bank's money, but they don't know they're talking about the bank's money because they believe you can own a house with a mortgage. Mortgages by people, not houses. No, who told you that? Your friends? Recession, gas prices, all of that is you guys, debt slave. I don't really pay attention to any of that stuff. None of it. Like when you guys see gas prices, here, let me give you an example. Okay. Gas prices are different for each person that pulls up to the pump. For example, if I pull up to the pump and say like the gas is $4, I pull up to the pump, fill my car up, I pay cash, even though I'm using my credit card, right? Or debit card, I'm paying cash, okay? Because I have the money to pay that card off at the end of the month. So I'm actually paying cash because I'm not paying any interest. And the card that I'm using to pull it to the pump, I own. There's no payments on it, okay? So the gas price for me is $4. If you pull up in your finance card that you're making payments on at the interest rate, and then you pull out a credit card on your out of your wallet to pay for the gas, you finance the gas at the interest rate of your credit card, at the interest rate of the car payments that you're making on it. It counts on if you have gap insurance and everything else. Your price at the pump is very different than mine. That's why you think gas is high, because it's you that slaves you. So that's why I don't really pay attention to the gas prices, because I know it's you. You guys are the gas prices. Hey, we want to buy. Now, this is just my opinion. It just makes sense. Hey, we want people to buy more electric cars. What do? Raise the gas prices. You guys will run out and go upside down and finance an electric car and believe you're saving. Do you know how many? Listen, do you know how many people are upside down in their financed electric cars and believe they're saving money on gas? Can you believe that? Upside down on a financed electric car and believe they're saving money on gas. I know people think I'm, especially accountants and tax professionals, I'm gonna just reiterate, okay? I will make you the best in your profession. Do you understand that? The very best in your profession, the best. If you're a tax attorney in personal debt, and you don't know that applies to anything, you need to come see me. Tax professional, you're in personal debt, you need to come see me ASAP. You want to be the best, and nobody will know how you're doing it. Come see me. You want your life to change? You want to be as wealthy as you want to be? Come see me. You're probably thinking, well, LJ, what you don't have no finance degrees, and you don't have this and that. You didn't go to this college to get, you're not a CPA, this and that. I didn't say I was any of that. I teach people how to apply mathematics to their finances. That's what I teach. I teach people how to apply mathematics to their finances. I don't teach finances. I teach you how to do, I teach you how to apply math to it. That's what I do. So I don't need all that. I don't need the CPA behind my name. I don't need the degree behind the camera and the wall in the back to make you guys. I don't need any of that. None of that. And neither do you. You just think you do. Do you guys know the majority of what you guys see? You guys are getting financial advice from a negative perspective. If you have somebody watching your money and they're in personal debt, you're doing it wrong. I'm just here to tell you, you're doing it wrong. I promise you that. And you're paying somebody to do it. They're not saving money or time. I hear it take about 45 minutes to charge an electric car from an empty back. Can you imagine? If you pull, see, this is what happens when debt slaves don't know. They get their order, their life order. They start putting money above time. They put money as number one, time is number two. If you pulled up with a gas card to a gas pump, and the attendant says, "Hey, it's going to take 45 minutes to fill your car up here," you would leave and go to the next gas station. You would leave immediately. 45 minutes, no thank you, but they'll do it for electric cars. Let me tell you something. Only a debt slave, I want you guys to understand this clearly. The electric car owners that do that, I guarantee you their cars are financed, because people that pay cash for electric cars have superchargers at home in their garage. Do you understand me? They have superchargers at home, because debt slaves would finance electric cars upside down. They wait. Some of those guys wait in line to get to the pump to wait. And then you have this electric car etiquette. Don't park next to mine. It slows down the pump. You think a person that pays cash for electric cars is going to deal with any of that? No, that's a time waster. They're going to make so much money off of electric. They're going to set up coffee shops if they haven't already. I'm sure they already have set up coffee shops, sales place. That's going to be prime real estate. Why? Because they have no choice. They're going to be there for 45 minutes. You might as well feed them and sell them shit and do whatever. You guys ain't going nowhere for 45 minutes? No, I ain't doing none of that. When I get an electric car, it will be cash, and I'll have a supercharger in my house. What's up, Andre? I know they're still building that out. They're still building the superchargers out. They still are. I mean, it's going electric right now. It's going there, right? But imagine, you know what just popped in my mind? Imagine how many people how many people begging for student loan forgiveness with financial electric cars. Anybody, listen, what if I want some of the people that are jealous of other people with electric cars. First of all, I want you to find out if the car is financed. And then second, see if that person has student loan debt. This is how you do it. You can say, hey, man, this is all you got to do. Hey, man, did you hear, man, they blocked the student loan forgiveness program again? I mean, they blocked the student loan forgiveness again, and see how they react. If they turn to you and say, what? I don't follow that. Okay, that's the wrong person. But if they get, oh, man, yeah, you're right. I can't believe that. Man, you're talking to a person with a financed electric car begging for student loan debt for forgiveness. That's who you're talking to. You don't be jealous of people like that. They're not, you don't know when you see somebody with electric car, you have no idea how they got that car. The price, listen, say like the car, say like say like the electric car is 40,000. Number one, the sale price of a car is irrelevant, is only relevant to the person who pays cash for the car. Okay. So if I walk up and buy a car, say like the car's 40,000, taxes come up to 5,000. Let's keep even numbers. The taxes come up to 5,000. I pay cash 45,000 and I leave. You finance it. First, you might be bringing in some past debt that from your previous car loan. You're working with the same bank. That's why they like to keep you the same, so they can keep you there and get you. You're carrying over, you add then the percentage rate, your payments. You don't know if this person is going 12 years, 10 years, 8 years, 7. You're probably thinking 12 years. Yeah, they finance cars for 12 years. Yes, they do. Bananas. Absolutely bananas. You don't know how they got that electric car. You don't know if they might have gap insurance on their electric car. And they believe they're saving money on gas. Can you believe that? That is bananas, man. Absolutely. What's up, Nick? But if they just, I don't know why they just don't send you guys checks. Just approve the shit. Everybody will be happy. Everybody comes up and listen. And they will still own the debt slaves and still have the student loan debt sitting. Can you imagine that? Mail all the debt slaves checks. They will boost the economy. Student loan debt will stay. Some of them will, very few, but student loan debt will stay. The debt slaves will feel like they got their student loan forgiveness. They got what they asked for. They're happy. President looks good. They still own all the debt slaves. They didn't release you guys. Because it's not really forgiving anything. It's just the interest. If you've had your student loans for 10, 15 years and they forgive $10,000, that's interest. They're just taking a pay cut. You get it? They'll get it back because you're not going to pay off the balance anyway, so they'll get it back later. It's not a big deal. Dorian says, you really think this is the last pushback? Oh yeah, this is it. They're not pushing that again. No, there's no reason to do that. Because you got to remember, it doesn't matter what day they start the student loan payments again. Debt slaves are not going to have the money. They're not going to have it. Doesn't matter the day. They could push it till 6 months again later. You're not going to have the money in June. They're just putting things in place. They're getting all set up. I don't know. You got to remember, this is a reset, you guys. So there's a new system they're putting in place. They just need time. This is my opinion, okay? I think they just pushed the dates because their system wasn't ready yet, right? So hey, just say we're gonna push the date. Okay, cool. You guys are happy. You guys get a few more months, and then they get to look at it and hey, okay, are all the pieces in place? Not yet. Okay, push it again. All the pieces in place. I just think now they're ready. They got over half of 45. There's 45 million of you guys. They have over half of you guys with updated information now. They're pretty good to go. Those are good numbers. Those are good numbers. You guys want that money. You want that forgiveness so bad. Of course, you got to give up your info, where you work, where you live, what you've been doing. Who knows what's on them applications? I don't know. Phone numbers, job locations, whatever. I don't care how they do it. You guys owe them. Period. We say, Andre, just the right amount for a down payment on a on a house. Yeah. Just oh man, they do you guys dirty. Oh, that is that is messed up. Oh, that is so messed up. Down payment on a house. Ooh, woo. Mm. Student loan forgiveness is the largest bait and switch I've. Hey, Nick. Now, listen. I never understood. Like when I was younger, I would see like people going to orchestras and sit down and just watch an orchestra of violins. You know what I'm saying? Those they just play the violins and different instruments, and I just like, wow, that looks so boring. But now, I swear to God, I swear, when I'm sitting in the stadium and I watch them do this stuff, I swear I'm sitting in one of those places and they're playing music like that, and you guys are just doing what you guys what you guys do. It's like, wow, that's all you had to do. Wow, just okay, just say you're gonna do it. They get into a frenzy. That party blocks this judge that, this judge does that and says it's illegal and unconstitutional. Wait a minute, you didn't know it was unconstitutional when you said it? Wait, hold up, wait a minute. You didn't know that was unconstitutional when you said it? Oh, oh, I got it. Then that's when the violins and stuff start playing. It's like, wow, that is okay. Okay, so the president tried, and the Democrat, Republican Party, whatever. I don't really keep up with that shit, but they blocked it and said it. And these two people over here that's against student loan forgiveness, they're mad because they're not getting forgiven. It's like, what? Oh man, if you make over this amount, they don't give us any. You make over six figures. How come you can't pay your own shit off? And you're complaining? Wait a minute. You're making $200,000 a year, and you're mad because they're not giving you $10,000 off your student loan debt. That is just absolute. And people with six figures, they be saying that shit out loud too, out loud. Oh man, it's just because we make all this money, they won't give. You make six figures, pay it off yourself. And check this out. I guarantee you, those same people, they probably have a cushy job that they got with their degree that the government paid for, and they're mad because they have to pay back that loan. That is bananas. Republicans are trying to throw away the next election already. See, listen, I'm just on the bird. I'm just telling you guys right now, I'm just on the bird, man. I don't really. When you understand, this is the only thing I can keep telling you guys. When you understand capitalism is psychological, you're like, what? What makes you that? Then you read and say, oh, okay, they believe that. And then you read the other side, you say, okay, they believe this and that and this. And then I guess you just get to choose what you believe. And then you're just on that side, I guess. I don't know. I guess. I'm just on the bird. It's just, it's amazing to watch. It's just absolutely, you guys don't even get it. I know you guys don't. You guys don't even get it. It's absolutely, it's a symphony. That's the word I was looking for, a symphony. Now I understand. I guarantee you, the majority of people that understand go to those symphonies. I could actually go to a symphony and understand the music now. I'm like, wow. Because when you understand capitalism is psychological, the financial world becomes quiet. You guys don't really get it. All the debt slave chitter chatter, I don't even listen to it anymore. I don't care what you guys do and say and what you guys think you're investing and cash flowing. I don't even hear you. You guys think you're cash flowing from bank owned. You guys you're begging for student loan. Listen, you're begging for student loan debt, thinking you're cash flowing from finance rental properties. Half of you guys be sharing each other's sharing each other's financial portfolios with, and then you open the financial portfolio, everything in it has your name on it and the bank's name on it. That means you're part of the bank's financial portfolio. You guys get that? You don't even get it, do you? Some now have lower DTI, the others get a refund check for down payment. Oh, they did you guys good with that debt to income ratio. I'm telling you, man. They said, okay, you guys don't have to pay for student loan debt, right? I mean, student loan debt payments are paused, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden they took it off your credit report. Some of you guys' credit reports, they removed it or shows zeros. I was like, I said, when I was helping clients, I would see that. I'd be like, what? I would call them back. I said, hey, don't you have student loan debt? They would say, yes, I do. Why is it showing zero? They'd be like, I don't know. Your DTI goes up. You guys get to finance more. I was like, I'm in a symphony. Because I was like, why would they do that? That's what I said to myself. Why would they do that? Soon as you guys saw that removed, your DTI went up, and then your credit score went up, and you guys ran out and financed shit. Why let me hurry up and go before they put it back on. I'm gonna get a house, get a car right now. Why? Oh man, exactly what they knew you guys would do because you're debt slaves. You guys do that. This is why classical music sounds good to me now. You guys don't even get it. When I'm meditating, I put on classical music. I've never listened to classical music in my life because I never understood it. I was like, this shit don't even make any sense. Boom, boom, boom. But but what you don't, this is what I know this is a little off topic, but I'm just trying to help you guys realize something. When I started listening to classical music, right? I would hear the music that was in movies that I watched. I was like, wait a minute, that's from the so-and-so movie. So when you go back and watch the movie, the reason why when you start getting emotionally attached in a movie, there's usually symphony type music playing in the background to jerk your emotions. I was like, what? What the hell? And then you look up to who made it, you know, the artist, because you don't really look up the artists of who made the music in a movie. You got to feel all that. You got to feel that because, like I said earlier, it gets quiet. When you understand capitalism is psychological, the financial world gets quiet. So you need something to fill that space. Well, you don't need something because the silence, a lot of answers come in silence. Believe that. Dorian says, once you get out of debt, you see much of an illusion. Yeah, it is. It's psychological. The system is psychological and it's beautiful. It's beautifully designed. You know, put it this way. When you understand that, once I understood capitalism is psychological, then I say, oh, I started looking at the central bank because they clearly run everything. That's clear. Okay. And I would start reading on, because these are things I've never paid attention to before. But now when I look at them, I see their buildings and where they're at. The buildings make a statement. They say we run shit. You look up the buildings. The main building is in DC. That's the central bank, and then there's reserve banks. There's regional reserve banks, right? Those are the ones in different cities. Okay. Now there's 12 of them. Okay. And I started reading. I was like, okay, all right. Okay, who's in charge of this? It says, okay, the board of governors, they're in charge. I was like, okay, how did the board of governors get there? I'm like, okay, the presidents appoint the board of governors. There's 7 of them, right? The president appoint. I was like, okay, wait a minute. That kind of threw me off for a minute. I was like, okay, if the president appoints them, that means okay, there's like that seemed like that would be a conflict of interest right there. It's like, okay, whatever, that didn't make any sense. I was like, okay, the board of governors and they're appointed. But then I read deeper into it. It said, okay, the board of governors, they see over the 12 regional banks. Okay, the 12 regional reserve banks, right? But then I said, what about the bank in DC? No, they don't oversee that one. Not only is that they're a separate federal agency. I was like, what? Yeah, all you guys rules and stuff, they don't apply to us. I was like, whoa, holy shit. How you get to that level? Yeah, your president can't tell us what to do. What? I was like, wow, that's amazing to me. That you guys don't really understand how amazing that is, but that's amazing. That's amazing. I was like, okay, now I get it. The board of governors, they oversee the 12 regional banks, but not the main one in DC. No, they respond to them. Okay, believe those board of governors talk to whoever is in there. I don't know who's in there, but you better believe they report to them. Now, when you're a debt slave, you only worry about your local bank, but you don't know who your local bank reports to. That's what you guys don't. I mean, you guys don't care. It doesn't really matter. Exactly. Would you say, Andre, the legal fight is just a delay? It's not time yet. See? I seen a comment of someone on YouTube asking if they can still be forgiven for their student loans from 2003. Wow. Saying it out loud in public. Hey, everybody, I got student loans for 2003. They must deck out these loan officers with good music, cheese spreads, and candy to get you to sign up. It's beautiful, man. I'm just, it's a symphony. Yes, LJ, some barcade to a, what'd you say? I don't know how to pronounce it. Word to align your mind. Oh, I use it. Okay, got it. Oh, okay. Now I see what he's saying. Okay, the music. Okay. I just don't know how to pronounce the word. Got it. Oh, yeah. I use it for lucid. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. I will try that. That's crazy. Board of Governors don't oversee nothing. No, they don't. Not that building in DC. Sure don't. Because at first, like I said, it threw me off. I was like, wait a minute, if the president appoints the board of directors, that means they're pretty much in charge of the central bank. I was like, oh, just the 12 banks. Got it. All right. I didn't see that. Because the local banks, the local banks report to the regional banks, and then the regional banks report to the main bank in DC through the board of governors. They're their own. You guys, man. When you're a debt slave, you don't really bother to read it. You don't know anything about the central banks, and it's really not a concern. Like when you first of all, if you look at the central bank in DC. Now, when I look at that bank, let me tell you something. When I see it, before when I was a debt slave, I would kind of see it, but I didn't really understand its purpose or whatever. Because listen, I don't know how to. Each regional bank it's like a private company. Do you guys understand what that means? But then they got laws to say you have to. Just crazy. It's like, wow, what the? Wow. You guys don't really pay attention to that. But anyway, when I look at that building, it makes a statement. It says, "We are in charge here." When you look at that building, doesn't it say that to you? It said that's what it says to me. We're in charge here. Then I start reading. Okay, go back to 1913. Okay, some secret islands and 100 of the richest people meet up and like, and they say, about 1913, they meet on this creepy sounding island somewhere in secret. 100 of the richest people and get together and draft this plan up. I'm like, okay, you guys get together and say, hey, we're going to put together this plan for you, a Federal Reserve System, but check this out. You're not going to oversee us. We're going to help you, but you're not in charge of us. We're going to put this plan together. You can be in charge of everybody else that's part of it, but not us. But we're going to have the same federal executive rights too at the same time. Yeah, yes, we are. Yes. I just like, wow, that is bananas. The other party has to put on a show, pretend to fight. Oh, that's bad. That's exactly how I see it. I knew it once I saw it. I said to myself, once I say, hey, the president's going to forgive 10,000 and 20,000, I said, they're not going to make it easy. That's what I said to I thought they was going to make the application overly complicated, but obviously they didn't, because over half of you guys filled it out quickly. So it must have been a simple, where you work, what's your address, phone number, your current address, where you've been living for the last 5 years. I can only imagine it had to have been simple, because if it was complicated, you guys wouldn't have did it. So they actually made it complicated on the back end. Oh, the Republicans, the Democrats, the judges, the district court of this and that, and over there, and across the street didn't like this, and two people with student loan debt didn't do this, so they filed a lawsuit. I'm like, man, because 9 times out of 10, as soon as you guys heard the forgiveness, you guys spent the money. You guys spent the money. That's what you guys always do. If you guys know some money's coming, you guys will spend it before you get it. Rothschilds, I care not what puppet is placed upon the throne of England to rule the empire on which the sun never sets. The man who controls the British money supply controls the British Empire, and I control the British money supply. Wow. To even damn. Do you guys understand what level that is? Hold on for a second. I forgot to plug my laptop up. 1 second. Put it this way. To even to read a statement like that. Do you guys know? You guys will never know, really, but that says we're in charge, period. And when you understand how it works, when you understand capitalism is psychological, you can clearly see the. I'm not going to say clearly, but you can you can clearly see that there is an order, because once you get out of debt, the picture gets bigger. I'm gonna try to describe something to you that is only psychological. Okay, when you get out of debt, your world's gonna change. Okay, and then it gets bigger. And when I say bigger, I'm just saying you can see more. Let me just say your perspective of how it all works gets bigger, and they come in pieces. Okay, it just connects. I can't really explain more than that, but it connects. And then you start to meet the right people, because the right people know you're speaking the right language. So they know you might not know where you're at, but the right people will hear you talking, and then they will know where you're at, what to say to you, what you're not ready for, maybe what you are ready for. Anyway, so that's how it was for me. And then I central bank, and then you're like, oh, okay. Okay, I see why that's here. But the way humans conflict, it couldn't have been easy to make everybody in the whole United States agree to this paper. This is where the border is going to be for Texas, for the borders for each state. Everybody couldn't agree. So that took some doing stuff. Okay, then you look back at history, you're like, oh, I don't know how to explain that. Then you're like, oh, okay, that's why that. Oh, then you start hearing things like winners write history. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Makes sense because you know you have your own house, you have your own rules, and you're only going to allow certain. So, like you own your house, and you're going to only allow certain things in your house. Period. If somebody else comes in and says, "Hey, well, I don't like the books you have in your house. I'm gonna replace all your books with my books. So you're not going to have that." Right? So it's the same thing. Okay, not a big deal. I was born here. It is what it is. Whatever. Right? I'm just glad I could see it. The once it gets really bigger, because we're all human, so you just see, like when you like for example, when I say debt slaves are the currency, you can't buy a house with a mortgage. Uh, you can't buy a car with a car loan. That's going to confuse the average debt slave because they believe you can, even though it's not mathematically true. That's something I can see that you can't. Financing phones, stuff like that. It gets bigger and bigger, and then when you look all the way back here, I'm all the way back to December 1913 of who put this federal system together. Okay, those guys must be pretty important to be in that position to say we're going to do it. This is what we're going to do. Now, now that I know capitalism is psychological, obviously those guys did too. That's obvious. Those guys obviously knew that nobody stops evolution. Nobody. It doesn't matter how much money you have, evolution happens, period. They probably knew that physical labor that was fueling the economy obviously was coming to an end, so that something needed to be replaced that. So instead of having it physical, now it's psychological. Now it no longer matters the color of your skin, man or woman, where you grew up, your race. It doesn't matter. Debt slaves, uh, 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 debt is the equal opportunity slave master. It doesn't care if you're a Republican or Democrat. If a Republican has a car payment and a Democrat has a car payment, it doesn't matter. You guys are debt slaves. You guys just opposing side debt slaves, I guess. If a Republican has a house payment and a Democrat has a house payment, you guys are just debt slaves arguing with each other. I don't know. Who cares? It doesn't matter. You guys are debt slaves, period. Two people that believe you could buy a house with a mortgage, believe in your own equity while having a mortgage when that's 100% mathematically impossible. And the reason why I say it with such aggression, you guys be thinking, oh, he think he's better. No, that was me. I was a debt slave. I was a six-figure earning college educated debt slave, just like you. That was me. I thought I could buy a house with a mortgage. I thought I was saving for retirement while having student loan debt. I was you. I did all that. And I was so-called smart because I was an engineer. I used to always go out on dates. Hey, yeah, I'm an engineer. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm a college educated six-figure earning debt slave. That's what I was with a Lexus. With a Lexus to prove it. Shout out to Mitchell and Rachel. Thank you. Thank you for the $3. Appreciate it. Damn, and he said that out loud in public. You know what kind of I don't know if I could ever do that. I don't know if I could ever do that. That takes balls right there. Balls to make a statement like that. That takes balls. Hmm. The players may change, but the game remains the same. Sure does, for sure. In the game of chess, you are a pawn, the king, or the one who moves the pieces. I knew when I was a young age, I said, I'm going to learn how to play chess. Because where I grew up, it was just checkers. And I was like, I'm going to learn how to play chess. Why limit to just a small group when you can control all of them? Thank you for speaking the truth. This 23-year-old approves. I appreciate it. The younger, the better, because you guys got time on your side, too. You got time on your side. And if you have this knowledge at 23, that you're guaranteed, pretty much guaranteed a multimillionaire, pretty much guaranteed. You're going to be different than all your friends as you grow up because you're young. You don't, when you're 23, put it this way, okay? When you're 23, you don't really know that you're young, you're brand new to earth. You don't really understand that, right? With this knowledge at that age, life is going to be very different because at 23, you think 30 is old, but it's not. It's not old at all, right? But with this knowledge at 23, when you get to 30 and you see all your friends getting married, stressed the hell out, they're in court, child support payments, divorce, uh, stressed out because they're working 50, 60, 70 hours overtime, working on all holidays. And they're always stressed and they believe they're going to be believing stress is just part of life. And here you come, stress-free, good health, never have problems. They're going to be like, why don't you have wrinkles on your face? Why you're not starting to get crow's feet or whatever? It could be man or woman, it doesn't matter. Why don't you have wrinkles? Because I don't stress at all. Stress is a choice. Put it this way, the majority of stress is a choice. If another person is stressing you out, you have the choice to cut that person off. You're removed. My dad Mitchell always warns me about debt. I'm glad he did. But when you own a business debt is a good thing. Always remember this. Always remember this. The difference between personal debt and business debt. This is the difference that you're never going to hear anywhere else. Personal debt, you pay back. Business debt, your customers pay back. Okay? One more time. Personal debt, you pay back. Business debt, your customers pay back. They pay back your debt. They pay back your taxes. They pay back your stuff for your business, the machinery, the equipment, the accounting software that you might need, the person you might hire to do your taxes. Your customers pay for all that. When you walk, put it this way too. When you walk into the bank, when you say like you take this SMD knowledge and you wait till you stay at home till you're 30. Don't listen to anybody. Don't think you're a loser and oh, you're staying at home, you're 30, you're a loser, you're living in your dad's base. Hey, don't listen to any of that shit. None of it. Okay. Stay out of debt, stack your dough. And then when you're ready to, when you got like a 40, 50% down on a house, if you want to do that, unless you want to save all the money up, but you're young enough to get a mortgage. When you save up no debt, you save up money and no debt, you walk into a bank looking for a mortgage and say like you got 60,000 in cash and no debt, the bank is going to know that you know, because that is not normal for a young person to walk into the bank with no debt and $60,000 in cash for a down payment on a house. That's not normal. They're going to run your credit report and they're going to see that you have no debt. You might have one credit card, okay? Because credit is a useful tool, all right? One credit, but no debt. Because there's a pattern. Because they own the credit system, period. They own the credit system. So there's a pattern. There's a pattern that people in debt have, and there's a pattern that people not in debt have that use the same credit system. Sure is. It's a choice. We are home with our parents. No shame at all. Keep it. Hey, this is what I say, as especially as young people. This is what I suggest you do. Stay at home as long as you can. Get a job. Pay your parents rent. Don't even just do it. Make it automatically come from your bank account. Give it to them, even if they say, "Hey, that's not." Just do it anyway. This will help you practice for the real world, okay? Because you're gonna have to pay, but this will help you practice. And the reason why I say it this way, because once you own, you're gonna know the only way to wealth is you're gonna have to create a successful business. That's the only way. You will never become wealthy having a job. That's not the purpose of a job. The purpose of a job is to stack your bread, become your own boss or whatever, right? Stack your dough, build your own business, and your customers will pay for your life for the rest of your life. You will not be part of the 40-hour work week program, Monday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday or weekends, paying, watching the clock every 5 minutes. Those are programs. You won't care. Saturday and Sunday are just regular days. They're not special. They have zero debt, homeowners at 48 years. Wow. Congratulations to them. Congratulations. They clearly understand. Clearly. And can you imagine this? I bet you your parents are probably the only actual homeowners in their area, probably. Maybe. They might have another person, maybe. But they believe, I guarantee you, everybody in the neighborhood probably believe, with mortgages, probably believe they're homeowners like your parents. They don't know. Only homeowners are homeowners because they have no mortgage. That's what makes them homeowners. People with mortgages are loan owners, not homeowners. They're loan owners. Now, You can try this. I don't know how close you are to people with mortgages. You could say, "Hey, are you a homeowner?" They'll say, "Yeah." You say, "Hey, open up your calculator." Okay. Put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance and then hit equal. Does that look like you're a homeowner? You're a loan owner. I take that back. Don't do that. They'll be mad at you. Don't do that. Exactly, Nick. Nick clearly understand that and is on his way to that. Clearly. In his 30s, SMD knowledge, man. Multimillionaire status coming up soon. Now is put it this way, Nick. If you got multi-millions of dollars, say like next year, you ran into something booms and you take off. Would you show now you're in your 30s? Would you show it off? Would you buy a fancy car, fancy clothes, or what would you even let debt slaves know in that form? Not going out saying, "Hey, I'm a multimillionaire," but showing them with stuff. Would you even let them see it? What would you do? Not many around here on the Sunshine Coast own they are debt slaves. Okay. Oh, own there. Got it. We know this as a fact. Yes. And but at the same time, I want you guys to understand this too. Okay. And really accept this. Okay. People with mortgages do not know they're not homeowners. They don't know that. Literally, they don't know that they're not homeowners. They literally believe they own equity in a mortgaged house. They don't they didn't have the money to buy the house, barely have the money to put down on the down payment, but then when they get the mortgage, they believe they own the equity in it. That is phenomenal. That is absolutely. You know how long it must have taken to get people to believe in the 30-year mortgages? That had to have taken, I mean, well, you figure since the last switch, you figure in the 50s and 60s, of course, there wasn't 30-year mortgages. Just Google when the 30-year mortgages start. Mm. Doing says, we have school here. We are like I've called Disquincy University with a Chick-fil-A on this inside. Oh, a Chick-fil-A. Man, I'm gonna tell you one thing though. When I get some money, I'm buying a Chick-fil-A. Believe that. Not not just because not just because they make money. It's bigger than that. They're like the prestige of fast food. Service, quality, uh the way they do business. I mean, just the way they handled business during the pandemic. That shows integrity. Uh the people that they hire when you go through the drive-through, they're just always respectable. You can hear them clearly. Whenever they're on the microphone, like say like you pull up and you're talking through the intercom, it's clear. You can hear them. The workers don't sound like they don't want to be there. That that's why I would keep and listen, they make so much money. I know it's because of their religious beliefs. They're not open on Sundays, but I'm just saying you something, telling you something. They make so much money that they don't open on a day. No other business does that. Not saying that they even have to. I'm just trying to point out something to you. They make so much money. They close on a day of the week. No fast food business does that except them. Big chain at least. Well, okay, you said I would follow the yay. Okay, the yay method, hoodies and oh, that's so funny. You know what's so crazy about him, man? He's hilarious, man. I think half the shit he does is on purpose because this is and I think I said this before about yeah, Kanye, right? He always acts like he don't want to be bothered, but he'll wear shit that makes people look at him. Now, if you come walking down the street in some big ass boots, of course people are gonna look at you. But then all of a sudden, if people say something, he act like he's bothered. Stop wearing those big ass boots. Nobody will know. Or he'll roll up in a Lamborghini or something. It's like you're if you don't want people to bother you, why are you driving a Lamborghini? 900,000 AUD mortgages they carry for now. Almost a million. Mm, mm. Yeah, I wouldn't let debt slaves see me either. They'll never see. I mean, okay, once SMD is worldwide, okay, a few might know, but you guys got to remember too, though. Even when SMD is worldwide, the majority are not going to see SMD. I know that's weird to say, or it's a conflict. It seemed like a conflict, but I understand that that's how it's supposed to be. I don't want debt slaves to wake up and realize they don't own houses with mortgages. I don't want that to happen. I'm here to help you be on the right. I'm here to help you be on the positive side of all that. Because debt slaves believing you can buy houses with mortgages is important. You get to choose which side of that you want to be on. You can be on the negative side of it, or you can be on the positive side of it. But that is totally up to you. You can either get a mortgage and believe you're a homeowner, or you could have money to buy several homes and rent them out to people, or make them because you have no idea how many debt slaves rent houses and calling themselves homeowners. Oh yeah, I'm buying that. No, you're not. It's like I'm 1 a.m. here. Oh, where you at? Where you located? Or did you already tell me? I don't know if you told me. If I missed it, I apologize. Aussie prop market is worse than Canada's. Tesla cars everywhere, all financed, all financed. When I drive by, like when I drive by a station, a charging station, I'd be like, damn, I just want to go up to the person and say, how long you been here charging your car? What are you doing in your car? Browsing like you got to remember, they got their phones, they got the screens, they can watch movies, they can be entertained while charging their cars, man. Spending money, like the electricity is not free. They got to pay for that. That's not free. So not they're actually what's going in that car is the time in their life. The energy from their soul is going. They're using the energy from their soul to charge the car. They don't know that. Listen, when you're sitting there for 45 minutes to charge your car, they're charging it with the energy from your soul. Oh, debt slaves. Oh, okay. Queensland, Australia. Okay. Nice. I went to Sydney back in 2014, got a personal tour of the Opera House. That was a beautiful place, man. Beautiful place. Beautiful place. Aussies, put it this way, Aussies knew that I was American right away by my accent. And if you haven't traveled, people, I want you guys to understand, you should travel outside the country. Go to a country where you have the accent. It is just the weirdest experience. You know how like when people from other countries come to the US, you can clearly hear their accent, but you totally forget that they can't hear their accent when they're talking to us. So when I went there, uh they could hear my accent and ask me to say certain words, and they kind of giggle and laugh. It's like, but of course you don't know what they're giggling at because you can't hear your own accent. I don't know that I have an accent. 75-year-old persons, ooh, here have mortgages. Ooh, I'm happy to have a 23-year-old get this knowledge because I want you to understand Australia is no different than the US. Australia is also capitalist. And if they're capitalist, that means there's psychological capitalism there too. Put it this way. Okay, this is what I would do. If I was to move to Australia, first I would figure out if Australia's capitalist. Once I know they are, that's all I need to know. That means the majority of Australians are debt slaves because it's psychological capitalism's there. In psychological and in capitalism, the majority are debt slaves and they don't know it. Finance houses, cars, blah, blah, blah. It's all the same. They just use different paper there. So if I went to Australia there to move there, I would hire a person that understands a debt-free person who understands Australian tax system. I would hire, if I was to open a business, I would hire a debt-free lawyer to handle all my setup, the licenses I need properly in Australia, blah, 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 to make sure I can sell and buy and blah, 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 right? I would let them handle all that because they would know the rules. Everybody in my circle would know capitalism is psychological, so they would know exactly what to do. No cheating on taxes, no getting around licenses and doing things illegal, none of that. None of that is allowed. And I would thrive there. I would become rich there in Australia because I understand. It's not the paper. You guys think just because they use different paper in Australia, you guys think the paper means something. All you got to do is this. If you this is what you do. You go to the Australian government website and say, look and see how much they print that paper for. Like pick a bill, pick a Australian $100 bill or some kind of major bill, and go look on their website and see how much they print that bill for. And then you got to ask yourself, what is it worth? Is it worth the amount they printed it for, or on the face of the bill? It doesn't really matter because it's all psychological anyway. So it doesn't. That tells you that it's psychological. That should tell you. That's a warning sign to say, hey, there's something here that you can't see because we printed it for 20 cents, but we're giving it to you. We put on the paper. We put on 100. So which one do you believe? Understand that it's psychological. It doesn't really matter. Whatever you believe, it's on the face. It is. What's up, Alonzo? Funny, when I moved from New England to Miami, I'm hearing people say I had an accent. Oh, I'm hearing people say I had an accent. You don't need to be from a different country. Oh, yeah, that's yeah, you're right. But you know what I mean? The major difference, right? It was hilarious. It was cool. I really enjoyed Sydney, Australia. I should have. When I put it this way, when I went to Australia, I was a debt slave. Okay. I had a job. I was a debt slave. So I only stayed like 7, 8 days. Right. But when I go back, I'm going to stay a month, if not longer. That's too far to fly to stay for it takes a whole day to fly there. And you're in the sky for like 15, 16, 17 hours. And then when you land, you're a day ahead. It's the craziest. It's crazy. Beautiful place though. Beautiful. And you got to remember, their summer months. Like right now, they're going. I think they're in their. I think they're going into their summer months right now. Their summers are winter. Plastic notes, huh? Correct. U.S. has 6 to 8 month lead in the property cycle. Banning cashiers soon. That's going to be worldwide. Cash with the put it this way, with the reset, cash is just in the way now. Okay, paper money. Put it okay. I'm gonna just tell you what it is, debt slaves. Okay, you guys are the currency. You always have been. Paper money was just a tool that was used. Now with the reset, it's just in the way. It really is. I can clearly see that it's just in the way because it doesn't. Paper money doesn't even exist for you, debt slaves. And you're probably thinking, LJ, what do you mean paper money doesn't exist for me? This is all you got to do. Okay, so I could show you. Okay. Let's see how much. Let me see how much I got in the middle here. One. Look at my avatar. Let's see. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I got 5 red bills in the middle of this screen. Okay. Now I'm gonna show you that money doesn't exist for you. Okay, the money that you see on the screen that exists for you, and that's psychological money that you're looking at on the screen. Okay, that they don't print that. That's psychological money. All right. So hold $100 bill in your hand, a physical one. If you can find one, hold one in your hand so you're holding it. Okay. And then I want you to open the calculator app with the other. Okay. And say like what I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Say like your car payment is $600. Okay. Say like you have a car payment and it's $600 and you're holding a $100 bill in your hand. I want you to open up the calculator. I want you to put in $100 minus $600 and hit enter. According to the calculator, you do not have $100 in your hand. Therefore, physical money is psychological for you. Now, the calculator, if you look at the calculator again, the calculator says you have 500 negative dollars, which you see on the screen. It says you have those in your hand. See the avatar on the screen? It says you have 5 of those in your hand. That's what the calculator says. Now, this is the glitch in the debt matrix. What are you going to do? Are you going to believe the calculator? That's never, ever wrong, ever. Or believe you have $100 in your hand? Which one are you going to believe? The calculator? That's never, ever wrong. Or the $100 you believe you have in your hand? That's what I mean. Money doesn't exist for debt slaves. See what I'm saying? What's up, Nicer? That goes for the UK, Canada, Australia. It's all the same. It's just different flavors, different money, different color, whatever. Now money is just in the way. They just need to, honestly, they just need to remove it because you guys are the currency. They'll have better control over it. You can't, it'll be more difficult to hide it and not claim shit. And you know how much money they're gonna get on taxes by going 100% digital? You know how easy it's gonna be to collect taxes then? It's gonna be just like, put it this way. Imagine digital currency being like, say like you have a job, right? You have a job. Before you get your check, they take the taxes out and then you get the rest. That's how it's going to be with digital money. They're going to take it. You know how easy that will be once it's digital? That'll be easy. The credit, put it this way, the banks already showed them how to do it with credit cards. You guys think credit is money. That's not money. That's digital. Credit is digital money. So you guys think you can, listen, you guys think you can buy houses with credit. You guys think you guys can buy car with credit. You can't buy, you're not buying, that's not money. Digital money is going to be the exact same thing. It is what it is. It's just evolution. I don't really care how they do it. It's just amazing. I'm just happy to be able to watch. Because the wonderful thing about psychological capitalism, you know what the wonderful thing is? It's a choice. That's the beautiful thing about it all. You get to choose. If you continue to if you don't pay your student loan debt off yourself, you're choosing to continue begging for the rest of your life like a slave, like a debt slave. Just begging. You're choosing that. If you believe you can buy a house with a mortgage, you're choosing that. That's a choice because you're doing something that's clearly not mathematically true. Clearly. You guys got to be nervous. I can only imagine how you guys must be feeling come January. It's right around the corner. You got Thanksgiving. You guys about to spend some money on Thanksgiving. Oh, I got to do this. This is tradition. You got no money. And then come Christmas. Oh, the kids, of course. Oh, excuse me. Kids gonna be all excited for Christmas. You can't really work up the nerve to say, "Hey, kids, you ain't getting nothing this year." Why not? We ain't got no money. Not knowing that that would help children. It would. If you just tell them the truth, hey, we're not going to be doing all this and that because we ain't got the money to do it. But the majority of you guys are just going to go into debt and doing it. The credit cards company is going to be there. The afterpay places, have you noticed all the afterpay places? They're all going to be there for you. They're all going to be there for you to finance your Christmas. They're all going to do it. All the stores are getting Target, Walmart. They're all getting in on it because that's what you guys are going to do it. Preparing for Christmas. Preparing it. Any questions before I get out of here? I barely like I don't really even know what's going on. I've been tied up in my other business a lot, so I just really because it's almost getting I don't know. I'm not gonna say get tiring, but just the you know, people always say, "Hey, LJ, what you said it's true." It's like honestly, I'm just telling you guys the mathematical obvious, right? I don't really think I'm even doing it. It's like really obvious to me. Just to see how they could bounce around and the only thing they got was updated information on over 27, 26 million of you guys got exactly what they came for to up so when this new system comes online, it's gonna work like a dream. They know exactly where to go to find you. Like, man, just the way it works, you guys don't understand. It's like a symphony. You guys don't really understand how it's just it's beautiful. And again, the best part about it, it's a choice. It's been a choice the whole entire time. And you guys, the majority of you guys think I sound like I'm crazy or whatever, right? But when I look at people like Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, owners of Walmart, Elon Musk, I look at them as this. They're ahead of me because they were told earlier than me. That's why they're not saying that. And those are just people doing their passion. I'm not saying I'm trying to compete with them in any way. I'm just saying be like them or I don't know. I'm not because I'm not trying to be like anybody. I'm just saying with understanding that capitalism is psychological, you guys really don't understand what that means or what the value of that is. I know the majority of people don't, but this is a I should have already been there. You know what I'm saying? But this is my time right now. I'm just speaking out loud. I'm not my time right now. What I'm doing right now is supposed to be right now. I'm just telling you in 2020 hindsight. Okay, I'm not saying that. Oh, I wish it would have been this way. And I had to go through what I went through in my entire life to be where I'm at today to talk to you guys on the mic the way I'm talking to you right now. I had to go through those experiences because I had no one to tell me that capitalism was psychological, that I had to own myself. Uh, uh, that's the key. You got to own yourself. Or would you say they will get all the forgiveness back in higher interest rates? Yes, they will. They will give it all back. They will pause first, probably at year end. And when you say pause, Andre, what you talking about pause? You think pause payments? You think they're gonna pause them past January? Is that what you're saying? Make sure I'm talking about the same thing. Or are you talking to Rachel? The tightening will go too long though. The tightening will go too long on purpose, of course. You guys, the majority, I mean, when you're on the positive side of it, you guys don't know the exciting time you live in right now. You're at the beginning of a brand new financial system, the very beginning. That means the majority of people don't even know how it works because it's brand new. The majority of people don't even know how it works. First, put it this way. First, you remove all the people that are on the negative side of the system. I'm talking about to really understand it. First, you remove all the debt slaves that are on the negative side of the system, and then you see the people that are left. Then you can see the people that are taking advantage of the brand new economy, seeing it develop. All you guys got to do is just look around you. Just look. Stores are being built next to like here in South Carolina. This is what I notice as a psychological capitalism perspective. I'm seeing in orders for stores, regular stores, to combat people like Amazon and stuff like that, grocery stores are building their stores within neighborhood communities. Businesses are building their businesses within neighborhoods of communities. That way, they can at least combat Amazon a little bit because Amazon won't be able to get packages to them faster than a business that's within the neighborhood of the business, because they can get your shit to you in 30 minutes if they're right around the corner. They can hire a whole bunch of people on bicycles. That can be a summer job for many, many teenagers. We just want you to deliver all this, like, say like there's a hardware store built right around the corner from a big ass community of houses that were built. And then they advertise, hey, we can get any part to you within 15 minutes. Hire a whole bunch of kids on the summer or during the year, whatever, right? They can be riding these bicycles to deliver these parts to these people. There is no way Amazon can compete with that speed. You can't. You can't compete with that. That's how they come by. That's how they got to combat. They're like, okay, how are we going to stay alive? We got to do this. Then that's what I see. I see, again, storage places, stores being built right in the center of neighborhoods. This is what I'm thinking too. This is a little off subject, but I'm thinking, I guarantee you, cell phone companies and internet companies are nervous right now. They're nervous. Put it like Elon has satellites that deliver internet from space. And then soon he's going to create his own phone. He's already in the process of doing that. And then you have a phone that can call worldwide anywhere. People in rural areas can reach you by a phone. Live way out in the country, boots, no electricity, but their phone, they'll figure out how to generate the phone electricity, but they can call you. Phone companies and internet companies are nervous. Believe that. They're scrambling. You see T-Mobile, T-Mobile got with Elon. They jumped on board real quick. They're like, uh-oh, we better get on board quickly. We better do it now. Pause the rate hikes. Okay, got it. Running military. Huh. People who are swimming. Yeah, I mean, they have a similar saying here too. They do. I think Warren Buffett says when the tide goes out, you'll see who've been swimming naked or come in. One of these. I forgot the exact quote, but I went to load up on long-term treasuries. They are committed to drain US. They are committed to drain US dollars from the world, exerting dominance. Got it. Not advice, just business, not personal. Once you understand, then I'm gonna get out of here. Once you understand that capitalism is psychological, it will help you remove your feelings from how it all works, right? The reason why you are emotionally involved in student loan forgiveness and what's happening is because you have student loan debt. If you didn't have student loan debt, you wouldn't care what they would be doing. The president, Congress, the judges, the U.S. you wouldn't care. The only people that care are people with student loan debt. And when you hear people begging and talking about student loan debt, you got to say, do you have a mortgage? Where's your car? Are you making car payments? What kind of phone do you have? Is that an iPhone 14 Pro Max? iPhone 14 Pro Max? Is that what that is? Imagine how many people are checking to see if student loan forgiveness is gone or passed through their finance phones. Can you imagine? That's the majority of debt slaves do that. Check on student loan forgiveness through your finance iPhone 14 Pro Max. Debt slaves really believe you get to just borrow that money, go on with your life, live the way you own what you want to live without paying back the money that you borrowed. You got to stop thinking like that. As you're going to die a debt slave. That's what you're going to do. What's up, Arlene? Miss B? Good morning, S&B family. I will definitely check out the replay. There are so many lawsuits behind the student loan forgiveness. It's just business. I think, and this is just my opinion, I think it's just all part of the plan just to make you, hey, it's stopping. Somebody's interrupting it. Hey, we were going to do it, but these guys over here stopped it and this and that and blah, blah, blah. But you can still sign up. Now they blocked the sign up. I don't know. Whatever. Dorian says, you hear Elon talking about making his employees come back into the office instead of working from home. Now they have to work 40 hours minimum in the office a week. When you're an owner, you can do that. When you're debt free, say like this, say like you work for Twitter and you were debt free with money in the bank. And then Elon took over Twitter and said, now you're going to be working in the office. And you really enjoyed working from home. You know what you would say? Sorry, Elon, I quit. Why? I don't want to work in the office. I like working from home. So I'm going to find me a job that I get to work from home. And then you would just quit. But the reason why Elon can do that, because the majority that work for the business are in debt. They have to. They have car payments, mortgage payments, credit card payments, iPhone payments. Trust me, I was an engineer, a VMware specifically. I was a VMware engineer, top tier. Okay. In that world of engineering, the engineers love to have all the latest gadgets and gizmos, phones and laptops and screens. And it was just part of that world to always have the hippest electronic stuff. Not realizing that they financed the majority of it. All of it's financed, all of it. Six-figure earners in $200,000 worth of debt. Owned. Now they have to come back because their new boss said so. I bet you those guys are on pins and needles. Who is Elon going to let go? Who is he going to keep? He gonna come in there and trim the fat. All you guys that have been kicking back, just getting paid because Twitter's big. Elon's coming in there and trimming all the fat, getting rid of all the non-key personnel. You guys are out of here. I'm gonna get on out of here. Got to get some things done today. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Saturday. Much appreciated. Thank you as always, Andre, Dorian, Rachel. I don't know if your dad is with you. Mitchell, I'll say Mitchell and Rachel because I don't know if both of you guys are on there or just one. Arlene, thank you, thank you. Nicer, thank you for stopping by. Love that that meme, by the way. Loved it. Yeah, loved it. Check out the community line. Check out the community area on YouTube and check out the picture that Nicer made for me. I was wanting that. Put the Matrix with a house on the fork. Stay debt free. Exactly. Dad, listen. Okay, great. I'm glad Dad listening. I appreciate it. 23-year-old with this knowledge, man, the world is, you're going to go through life stress-free. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. And Dad, congratulations on the paid off house. And probably the only person in your neighborhood that's a true homeowner and knows it. All the other people in the neighborhood probably think they're homeowners. They're like, no, you're not. You're not like me. I mean, you can't go out hey, Dad, we call that going out and pulling down your mask in public. You don't want to do that. Hey, I'm the real homeowner. I don't have no more. You can't do that in public. They'll hate you. Oh, and my mom and my babysitter. Okay, cool. That's good. Hey, the younger, the better. Hey, and when you put it this way, I would really like to hear back from you. See what happens when you share this information with their other 23-year-old friends and see what they say. I'm curious. See how they respond. Do they think you're crazy? That's wrong. You're old. Your parents are old. LJ's old. He's 50. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm curious to see how that goes. As Americans say, they front. You're right. They be fronting. You're right about that. Hey, one last thing before I go. You know what's so crazy? When I went to Australia, and us Americans, I'm talking to the Americans basically, right? When you go to another country, you don't know their slang words. You don't know sarcasm or a joke. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to explain this, but you can't really tell because you don't know the words and the sarcasm and when they're just joking or whatever, right? I remember, this is weird, right? I remember when I went to me and my friends went to this club or something we went to, right? And we went out at night and then we go to use the bathroom, right? Well, they have enclosed bathrooms, like, okay, here in America, we got the doors you open up, there's cracks in them. You can see on the top and bottom if somebody's in the toilet area of the bathroom. You can just look and see somebody's feet and you're like, oh, okay, somebody's in there. You don't go looking through the cracks or anything, but theirs are enclosed. You can go in there, shut the door and lock it, right? You can't see you can see on the outside it says vacant or not, but you can't see underneath. There's no cracks to see. And when I went in the bathroom, I was like, oh my God, look, they're enclosed. I said, they're enclosed, right? And the Australian people look there and say, yeah, do you want to see in there? They was looking at me weird, like, why would it be open? Do you want to see it? And I'm like, no, I don't want to see in there, but ours are not like that. They're not enclosed like that. It was just, they looked at me like I was weird because of what I said. It was just funny. We started cracking up laughing. It was a funny thing. Yes, mini humor. It's called taking the piss out of people. It's called taking the piss out of people here. Okay. Wow. Okay. That's something I've never heard. I've never heard that. And for the longest, I was like, when I was talking to some Australians, you kind of hear when you listen to Australians speak, right? They don't pronounce like if there's two T's in a word, they'll pronounce the first T like t, but if there's a second T in the word, they don't really pronounce that T in the word, right? They don't pronounce it. I don't really not explain that, right? But it's different. And so I can imagine, since we do pronounce our T's in the words, they can clearly hear that we're doing that, and it probably I'm sure that's that's a main point of our accent right there, pronouncing T's and stuff. But it was cool. I'm definitely going back there again. I'm excited to do that. But that was a beautiful place. I got to know somebody really well there. They gave me a personal tour, a back end tour of the opera house, and I got to see, what it looks like inside. And it was a beautiful place inside. I don't know if many of you guys ever have seen the inside of that place, but it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. And there's a lot of what you can't really see in the pictures that they always show. There's really a lot of side shops that are just below the actual the opera house. There's a lot of shops down there that they don't really show too much of, but it was exciting to hang out down there too. It was really nice. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Spread the word in Australia. Hopefully one of my tour dates will be there once SMD is worldwide, for sure. For sure. We say when you type these words to most Americans online, they think you're a retard or something. I can imagine, you know what? I can imagine going into some Australian YouTube channels or something, and me typing as American. I bet you they'll know right away that I'm American. Or maybe Australians think I'm a retard when I come in there typing, saying slang words, I can imagine how I sound to you guys today. I probably sound like I have a heavy accent. We got people from the UK. He's not in here. Aaron's usually in here. He's from the UK. Thank you. Now here's the Discord server. And I did get your message, Nick. I meant to ask you, Nick, too, since you're an admin, how come you can't just do all that stuff? I don't know. Because I'm tied up with my other business too. So I don't know. We'll talk later. Not a big deal. He said, yes, we know when an American is around. Oh, plus, I didn't see, there's not a lot of black people in Australia too. So not saying that's a bad or good thing, but I came across the Aborigines. I saw a few Aborigines people. They were interesting people. They were on the waterfront showing their culture, what they do and stuff. That was pretty cool. Did a lot of things. It was a beautiful place, man. I just think the time I was there wasn't enough time. It just wasn't enough time. I should have. Next time I go to Australia, I'll stay there a month because I want to see a lot of things. A lot of things. She said in person or online. Oh man, do you know how much impact this channel will have with Hey, Dorian, it's coming. It's just a matter of time. Put it this way, it's going to be big without being known. Because I still want to be able to. This is what, and then I'll go. I know I'd be saying I'm gonna keep going, but this is what I know famous people miss, right? Famous people miss walking out in public by themselves, being unbothered. See, like non-famous people like us, like the average person, we don't really understand. It's a privilege to go out in public by yourself, unbothered, doing whatever you want to do, shop. Nobody's stopping you to ask you a question or take pictures. I know famous people miss that. They have to be able to go to a park bench, sit down, read a book, look at the water, and nobody's bothering you. Paparazzi's not taking pictures of you, right? SMD will be worldwide, but I'll still be able to do that because the majority are not going to know that SMD exists because it's psychological. Like this money right here, this is psychological money that you see on the screen. So you go to Australia, you take all your money and you turn it red. It's the same thing there. You go to Canada, you just turn it red. Every single dollar red because it's all the same. It's psychological. Negative money is just as real as the positive money in your country. That's how it works. It's just red. They're called Nick came up with this. It's called S&D red notes. which is AKA negative money. Okay. SMD red notes. Which say, I found your channel the other night by typing debt slaves into search. How'd you know to type debt slaves in the search engine? Not many would know to type that into the search engine, debt slaves, because that's a term that I came up with. That is funny. That is, especially a 23-year-old typing in debt slaves in the search engine. 23-year-olds don't know to type that in. That's pretty cool. Okay. All right, I'm really getting out of here. I've been on here for 2 hours and 15 minutes. Time to go bye-bye. If you missed it, catch the replay. Those of you guys that are listening in your car, SavingsMinusDebt@gmail.com is my email. My Cash App is SavingsMinusDebt. And thank you, everyone, excuse me, that sends me a Cash App, watching my videos and just thanking me for what they have done. I much appreciate it. I always forget to do that. Don't forget to hit that like button on your way out. God, my throat is getting really dry. It's time to get out of here. Thank you, everybody. Much appreciated. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Thank you, Dad. Yeah, Dad. Hey, Dad, no debt paid off house. He clearly knows. Clearly. Well, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Oh, what did I do here? Comments. Oh, there we go. Wonderful rest of your day. Okay. All right. See you later.